online and also through any device, whether it's one-time payments, set up payment plans that automatically charge their bank account or credit card or debit card, as well as offers the option for schools to accept donations as well. So the topic we're focused on today is something that comes up a lot when we're working with clients, which is how to increase on-time payments. We have had a lot of experience working with schools and payments and consulting them about how to maximize on-time payments to reduce the strain on resources and cash flow. So what we'll cover in this webinar are common problems faced with tuition collection, the impact of late payments on schools, and some methods that can be easily implemented to reduce late payments. If you did join the webinar late or would have to leave early for any reason, we are recording this and we'll be sending the recording to all attendees afterwards as well. So first, we're going to address some of the common problems faced when collecting tuition. Collections is obviously an issue. Collecting tuition not only consumes resources and time, but also risks a small college's cash flow. Research shows that on average, 14.4% of students are past due on tuition. Some schools have reported over 50% in collections, which can account for over $125,000 annually in additional administrative costs for schools. So we work with our clients on how to optimize collections and reduce that resource strain on staff and other resources. Another challenge is enrollment and retention. With rising tuition costs and the associated fees that come with higher education, obviously that can impact enrollment if students have difficulty with making their tuition payments on time, and can cause students to drop out or leave prior to graduation. So we're going to provide some ideas on how to work with students that have challenges in making their tuition payments to maximize enrollment and retention of current students so that they can meet their degrees. So the way we like to structure maximizing on-time payments is so that it's win-win not only for administrators and reduces the resource strain on your administrative team, but also a win-win for students. They aren't enrolling in schools, hoping with the intention of not being able to pay tuition and potentially jeopardize their degrees. So we try to focus on win-win for all parties. And one way to really do that is to start with a student-first culture. Relay to students and families that the financial office is always on the student's team. The student wants an education and the school wants to provide it without interruption. Make it easy for students to access their account information and billing, preferably online, and provide detail on how to approach potential late payments before it becomes a problem. We found that when students are given access to their accounts and can keep track online of their balances and get on top of it, you'll see an increase in on-time payments. In fact, Doug Shantz, who is the director of student accounts at Wittenberg University, has less than 1% of delinquencies, which is remarkable among their student population. And he attributes that because they've equipped their students with the proper tools to access their accounts online 24/7. Students are using mobile phones more, debit cards more to make their payments. They're able to go online and make their payments. And he's found that providing that access is their most important aspect to success when it comes to collecting tuition and fees. Being communicative is also critical to on-time payments and reducing delinquencies. In advance, when the student registers with the schools, it's important to communicate what the payment policies are and options for payments in advance before it becomes a problem. Students should know what the policies are. For example, if delinquent payments will result in being dropped from classes or other repercussions, such as being turned over to the collection agency, it's important to advise them in advance so that they're aware what can happen within what timeframes once they're enrolled and if they fall behind on their tuitions or fees. Be proactive as well. Notify students immediately when they're past due and provide options to make payments or set up a payment plan by simply sending payment reminders in advance of due dates, followed by a series of communications that go out when late fees are assessed or when they fall behind, can help them get back on track. These messages that can be sent automatically through email clients that are oftentimes free and available. Can explain where they can go if they need help, how to set up a payment plan, and what might happen if their balance remains unpaid. Email reminders can even include links to make their payments or set up a payment plan. So again, it's very proactive, it's very simple, and it gets the students back on track and helps you reduce delinquencies. Be personal. The nice thing about technology is that you can personalize the communications without much effort. So you can reduce the strain on making phone calls or sending letters. You can now email students about how they can set up payment plans, with their name, with their degree, how far they're behind. So it seems very personal and one-on-one. You can include information as well. Classes are in jeopardy, their housing status, if that's a factor at your school as well. But really the main message is how can we help when the student feels that they're on the same team and not in a collections or negative situation, but just everyone's there to get them back on track. The school wants to collect their payments and maintain the education for the student. It really helps with reducing delinquencies and potential collections. Finally, payment plans are critical to the success of both retention of the students and curbing any delinquencies before they happen. A number of colleges we work with offer payment plans for past due accounts so students can continue to take classes while paying off the debt. Some strategies to maintain collections on past due accounts or those that are on payment plans is to set up auto pay. Where payments are automatically deducted from the student's bank account, credit card, or debit card. Again, that's reducing resource strain on the schools because they're not having to manually process payment plans. The CompuWorks system allows you to set up payment plans where payments are automatically deducted without any additional resource strain, and there are other methods to do so as well. And again, when you can set up payment plans, you can greatly help with enrollment and retention. So those are the key takeaways that we wanted to offer to help with collections and on-time payments. Again, as I mentioned, the CompuWorks system offers ways to provide students with the tools and resources to make payments, make payment plans, make payments from any device. Again, students are among the top category of people who use debit cards as their primary payment method. So when they're able to quickly click on a link and go online and just use their debit card to make a payment, we found that offering that in itself reduces the strain, as well as on the administrators as well. So those are our tips and suggestions. We now have some time for Q&A. If anyone has a question about specific issues that you've encountered in the collections process, or if you have any questions specifically about CompuWorks and what we offer schools, you can ask using the main chat function. If anyone doesn't have any questions, what I would like to let everyone know is that someone from CompuWorks will be following up with you with the recording of this presentation as well as the slide deck if you want to review it or share it with any of your colleagues. If you want to contact anyone at CompuWorks on your own for a no obligation demo, which takes about 30 minutes, you can email them at support@compuworks.com or reach out at 708-234-9510.